Coming up on this program, we show you how to get connected. Find out how to choose an internet service provider. Discover the newest form of communication, electronic mail.
Ways down and ready to ride. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky. Raise your hand if you're ready and willing, if you know it's time. Time for a girl on time. Time for a girl on time. Time for
Hello, everybody. Hold on one second. I forgot to stop the other version of me that is playing in the background, but I've done it now. Hi, everybody. I shit you not. I am so disorganized sometimes, and Fridays, you know, oh, my eyebrows as well. I'm just noticing them. Anyways, I was I just saw the number of people that are in here, and I wish you could hear me while the intro was playing, because I was like, did that say 52? And then I was like, oh jeez. It is so hot today where I am. It is something like 84 or 85 degrees already. It is so hot. I know we've done this before, but I can't push it too far with YouTube Daddy in terms of appearing nude, I guess. Anyways, but I hope everybody is doing well today. Tell me what you have for dinner. If you didn't like what you have for dinner, tell me what you wish you had for dinner. I wish I had, sounds weird, but hot soup. Yeah, that's what I want. Hot soup. Whew. It's hot here. It is hot for me. But I can't complain. I really enjoy the summer. Although I really do like the wintertime too. I like it all. Imagine that. I can't decide on something. Shocking. Ooh, Bill, that sounds pretty good too. If I could have some wonton soup along with special fried rice and egg rolls, I will be perfect. That is not going to happen. But, we do have some court today. I have to share some disappointment with you because I worked very hard. K Crimson posted the link, or the calendar item. I found the follow-up calendar item. I thought I downloaded it and checked it, but when I went to load it up, it wouldn't work. I have the file, but it wouldn't work. Anyways, so I had to figure out something else for us to watch, which is not difficult because I am a hoarder of court. It's my cross to bear. It's my cross to bear, but bear it I shall. So we're gonna start out with DJ Kometz.
So the waiver, yes,
whoa,
that.
Whoa. Jeez Louise. So many long. Oh. Okay. That was, that doesn't normally happen. That's what he said. That was just, I guess, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why you did that. It's funny. I'm like, damn, did I miss some money? I am a quart hoarder. It's okay. Also, I was drinking water today. I've been drinking water. And part of me, every time I drink it, I'm like, ugh. I want to be drinking anything else. But then part of me is like, wow, isn't this glorious? It tastes delicious. If you couldn't tell, I also tried a new strain of weed today called Citrus Abduction Hoagies. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. Let's listen to DJ Kometz. What does it say above her? Surgicals? Ma'am? Pigorsh? Her last name is Pigorsh? Okay. what does that say? Surgicals. Wow. I know. I need ice. I need an ice maker. That's what I need. But I know they get dirty, and I know you get sick, and I know all the things. And I need a new, I should add it to my Amazon wish list. They might not ship it, but a soda stream. I used to have a soda stream. It was excellent, because I'll drink fizzy water all day long. Opal ice maker, yes. Actually, I'll do that right now, once I hit play. Right now, Paisley, do it.
Correct. Yes. Sorry.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
submission was that. Yes.
yeah,
I thought we were
the
talking about
petition-
the summary proceedings. Excuse
No,
me. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, that's okay. But the petition was filed in June. Because definitely I don't want it in August because I have to have at least 60 days elapsed between the
Yeah.
filing
No, I
and
was talking
now.
about 23, but yes, that's correct.
No problem at all. All righty. And all the allegations in that petition were true and accurate to when you filed it to the best of your knowledge,
Correct.
and they remain true and accurate to this date to the best of your knowledge.
Yes.
And you were married to Aaron by a person authorized to perform marriages,
Yes.
and there's been
Hold on, we need to talk about something. I, in good conscience, I don't think I can put that on my list. That is the most expensive ice maker I've ever seen. Oh, I want it so bad, but that's insanity. Casey Carey, thank you so much. Little high right now, same as me. You know, it's not bad to put it on your list, Paisley. If you want to put it, it doesn't even let me know. It just says add to cart. No, I need to add it to my list. I don't, my cart's not going to work if I have one of them in it. Oh my goodness. Looks like to be a counterfeit one. Anyways. Oh, here we go. I'm adding it to my list. I'm crazy. It's on the list. Oh, stainless steel. Oh, baby. 3 mini computers for that ice maker.
a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable.
Yes.
And you presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage.
Yes.
And you believe it's in the best interest of your children?
Per counsel, I understand that it's deemed best interest in the eyes of Michigan law. I have no.
Well, that's why we're here. I
have no interest.
Too.
Yeah, and I have no intention of contradicting anything agreed to in the summary proceedings. But
good. Well, you've signed it.
Personally speaking, I had different things that Yep. So that's it.
Okay. Erin, you heard that testimony?
Yes.
True and accurate, ma'am?
Yes.
And you are not currently pregnant?
No.
Okay. Let's get the attorneys correct here. Find the right. And there is no state aid involved in this matter at all from either of you.
No.
Okay. All righty. Ms. Pigorsh, you're the plaintiff's attorney. Any questions?
No, Your Honor, you've covered them. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Hills, any questions, ma'am?
No, nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, I do find by and through that testimony that this court has jurisdiction. I'll note that the 6-month waiting period was waived on August 14th of 2024. There is a waiver of the 21-day appeal period within the document, so we'll get this processed in the next few days. Get it to your office, Ms. Pigorsh, so that you may distribute it.
I appreciate it.
Have a great afternoon. Take care of yourselves.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nico. I might add one of those to the list in hopes of actually getting it.
Okay. Held my breath on that one for a second. All righty.
So
What
funny,
we got
Judge.
next?
Who
We
do
can
we
do
got next?
Spontac versus Spontac.
Oh, but guess
Alrighty.
what? I'm having ice delivered later.
Bring in Mr. Sebastian and his client. Do we have Mr. Spontac here?
I
as well?
also have defendant here.
Perfect. Bring them all in.
DJ Komet's welcoming to the DJ booth the next couple for divorce.
I was wondering the other day, since we divorce them by Zoom, I wonder if they marry people by Zoom now.
Yeah, it's a good question. Probably during 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, maybe. Mr. Sebastian, welcome, sir. Did you connect? Not quite, so we'll check with Mr. Spontak. Did you connect?
Yes, how are you?
Okay, perfect. Miss Spontak, did you connect?
Yes, I did.
Okay, welcome. How about now, Mr. Sebastian?
Yes, sorry, the volume was down.
Relax. Yeah, I do that all the time. They put these stupid little fobs right by your elbow that control mute and up and down sound, and I constantly like lay my elbow on top of it. The next thing I know, I'm like, nobody can hear me, or I can't hear them, or both. But in any event, now that everybody...
In any event, one day Judge might watch this. Guess what, Judge? Usually those annoying ass headphone sets that have that, they also have this clip attached to them. And you can go ahead and take that clip and clip it onto something so that you don't put your fucking elbow on it.
Everybody's here. Let's go on the record in the matter of Spontak versus Spontak, case number 23-10849DM. Nicole Spontak, you're the plaintiff. We'll start with you, ma'am. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
Yes, I do.
All righty. Randy Spontak, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
Yes, I do.
All right, this is a default judgment. There was a default already previously entered in this matter, I believe at the beginning of August. So at this point in time, Nicole, you filed a complaint for divorce in this matter back in, looks like November of 2023 through your attorney's office, correct?
Yes.
And if you can remember that far back in time, all the allegations in that complaint were true and accurate when you filed it?
Yes, it was.
And they remain true and accurate to this day to the best of your ability?
Yes.
And you were a resident of Kent County in the state of Michigan for at least 6 months prior to filing that document?
Yes.
And you were married to Randy by a person authorized to perform marriages?
Yes.
And there's been a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable?
It cannot be reconciled.
Okay. And you have presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage?
Yes.
And you are not currently pregnant?
No.
All right. Mr. Spontak, you heard that testimony?
Yes, I did.
True and accurate, sir?
Yeah, so I actually talked to I never held an attorney in regards to this case.
Okay.
I believe I was originally served on this back in November 1st of 2023.
Sometime around in November, yeah.
Yes, and since that date, I have not received anything in the mail regards to anything in regards to this court case.
Okay, do you live on Stacy Road?
I do.
Okay, that's where everything has been sent to.
Correct. So Nicole goes out to the mail every single day. I actually talked to a lawyer, Renee Weingartner.
Okay.
And she told me to ask.
Mike, thank you so much. You're so sweet. And it got given out to each and everything. Yay. Also, I apologize about the ads. Again, I don't really have a lot of control over the ads from YouTube. Other than the fact that, well, we've talked about that before. Anyways, regardless. Mike, thank you so much. What's going on? Divorces are not working very well today here. What's going on? So he's claiming she went and checked the mail. I mean, that is sneaky. That would be sneaky as fuck. Wouldn't it be? Wahoo. Wahoo. Wahoo.
Ask you guys to reschedule this case because I believe all the paperwork that I've been sent to my mailing address has been withheld from me.
How would that be? You live at two separate addresses.
We live
You
in
live
the
in-
same address, but Nicole checks she checks the mail every single day. And I actually received this court meeting. The letter I'm looking at looks like it's dated on 8/13. I received this letter 2 days ago on 9/3, and I've been scrambling to figure out what's been going on.
Okay, there is a 21-day appeal period on this document. So you'll have that 21 days to object, and you're going to have to put that together. I can't do that by a verbal motion at the time of entry of a default judgment. You need to file the appropriate paperwork.
Yes, and I have a meeting set up tomorrow with Renee Weingartner to discuss this.
Please talk to Ms. Wagonar because I cannot adjourn, and the default is appropriately entered, and the file looks like everything was appropriately done. So if you can prove what you say, there could be problems with this. But you're going to have to show that to the court, and it's going to have to be a motion in writing, not a motion verbally on the time and date set for a pro-con. All right. The only thing that I have, Mr. Sebastian, is I do not have a copy of a UCSO. You have all of the correct stuff laid out in the judgment concerning child support, but I do not have a uniform child support order.
We will submit that.
Yeah, I figured. Okay, no problem. And I don't know if that's with the, because I note that it was mailed to the court. The court has not received the final copy either yet, but it might be floating around because sometimes the mail here is a week or two overdue.
As in, if he does appeal it, then they will likely reopen the case, right? It's just a waste of money to try and slide one by on him. Wait, it's Skibbity, not Skibbity Toilet. I can't remember. She also, that's sneaky. Don't do that. Don't do that. If that's the truth, don't do that. Sir, guess what? Easy solution to your problem. Get a P.O. box and get your mail there. Get another address, get your mail there. Like, if you think that she's interfering with your mail, then remove that opportunity for her. That's what I would do. I would still appeal it, but I would take steps. Know what I'm saying? Can't the post office hold your mail for you? You could go to them and explain. Also, I think that's yes, intercepting. Thank you, Ed. I think that's a DV signal, like on one of the, you know what I mean? Like, it's a red flag. That's a red flag. Red flag.
Okay. But at this point in time, I do find the proof sufficient to enter the document. And everything looks appropriate on the document, which is why I have to do it. Mr. Spontak, you're going to have to file the appropriate paperwork to prevent anything from going forward. Yes, sir. The judge will have to make a ruling on that, and he may make a ruling that this is appropriate.
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Sebastian, any questions, sir?
No questions.
All righty. Good luck, everybody. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Oh my goodness, oh my god, welcome! Look at your cute little picture! And thank you so much, Goofy Noofy Mom. Welcome. Members only on Sundays, except for last week we did Tuesday. And then look at Bill, a Friday Fiver. Thank you, Bill. You're so sweet. Appreciate both of you. Streamlabs. Streamlabs, where are you? We've had 3 meetings about this week. Oh, it's like I have to employ the boss's son or something, you know? Streamlabs is like the boss's son. Like, bro, I'm gonna heart it. It's gonna pop back up. Are you gonna put it up in the meantime? I need to get more water. That's how hot it is. It is so hot here. Streamlabs, I'm waiting for you before I literally go and fill my big glass of water. Wow. Thank you. Oh, it's cute. So cute. I know I have a wet cloth that I was, but here's the thing. I can't, well, I'm not wearing that much makeup, but I don't want to wipe it off. We don't have AC, Julie, but I know you live in Tucson. What the fuck is Streamlabs doing? Bro? Bro. I'm high too, but we gotta be on the ball here. It's a team effort. I need that. Thank you, Bill.
Interesting. I can swear the file shows them living in two different places, but in any event, can't do anything until he gets me a copy of the UCSO anyway. So,
Yeah.
all right, next.
We can do the one that I didn't have scheduled. Ollie versus Bull.
Certainly. Mr. Iorio is here.
Yes, and James Kuzari.
Sorry, do we have both parties here then too?
I just have Elizabeth Bull, but maybe plaintiff is with his attorney.
Let's find out. Spin the wheel, bring them all in.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Scazzari. How are you doing, sir?
I'm well.
Good. Mr. Iorio, you could unmute.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Your client is with you.
He is.
All righty. And Ms. Bull, can you unmute and let us know that you are connected? Elizabeth, I want to make sure you can hear us. So I need to hear from you to make sure of that.
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Good. Yes. Wonderful.
Okay.
All right. No problem. Okay. All right. If you have a bad connection, you can leave your video off because it sounded like you had a sketchy connection. Okay. So the video soaks up a lot of bandwidth. So as long as you can hear us, that's what was most important. All righty. We are here in the matter of Ollie versus Ball, case number 23-212215DO. Jason, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
Yes.
All righty. Elizabeth, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
Yes.
All righty. Jason, you filed a complaint for divorce in this matter back in 2023, correct?
Yes.
And if you can remember that far back in time at this point in time, since we're almost done with 2024, all the allegations in that complaint were true and accurate when you filed it, sir?
Yes.
They remain true and accurate to this day to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
And you were a resident of Kent County in the state of Michigan for at least 6 months prior to filing that document?
Yes.
And you were married to Elizabeth by a person authorized to perform marriages?
Yes.
I say, don't hesitate on that one. I need you married before I can divorce you. All righty. There's been a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable?
Yes.
And you presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage?
Yes.
And you've signed it and you're willing to abide by it?
Yes.
All right. Elizabeth, you had the easier job. You heard that testimony?
Yes.
True and accurate, ma'am?
Yes.
And you are not currently pregnant?
No.
Okay. Mr. Iorio, any questions, sir?
Thank you. I just to confirm with Mr. Alley, you've had a chance to review the consent judgment of divorce. It's got 9 pages, but your signature appears on page 8 of 9.
Yes.
And that's your signature?
Yes.
And you voluntarily signed that?
Yes.
And you had a chance to review it and understood it?
Yes.
And you were asking that that the court sign off on the consent judgment of divorce?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Scazzari, any questions, sir?
Very briefly, Ms. Bull, you read the consent judgment of divorce?
Yes.
You did sign that consent judgment of divorce?
Yes.
And you sign that knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand, you believe the divorce, you understand its terms, and you believe that it is equitable, correct?
Yes.
And you're satisfied with the efforts of your attorney in this matter?
Yes.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Thank you. Nothing further is necessary. I do find by and through that testimony that this court has jurisdiction because this is where the parties live and the proofs are sufficient under the document. So we will be doing so. And have a good afternoon, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Referee.
you.
You take
Judge
care.
Kometz,
Yes.
just one quick question.
Sure.
My client had asked me how soon we would get a copy of that.
Well,
consent
that's
judgment.
I was just looking to see, is there a waiver in here somewhere that I missed? Because there is a 21-day appeal period on this. But if you
Right.
get together with your clients and sign the waiver under 3.215, you can find the document on Access Kent, the website, under forms for the circuit court. Get the parties to sign it. The attorney's signatures don't work. But have this party sign it and send it to Judge Bryant. And once they match it up, they'll finalize it that day. Otherwise, there's a 21-day appeal period on it.
Thank you.
All righty.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All righty, next.
Next, we can do Mugwan Eza versus Adabagizi.
Glizzy? Did she just say glizzy? You know what my favorite fall drink is? It is a caramel apple cider from Starbucks. Because I am, I guess, a basic bitch. Like, before I drank coffee, I was like a hot chocolate girl. Into my, like, 20s, I was a hot chocolate girl. And I never really liked whipped cream. I found a newfound love. Anyways. But, in my 20s and youth, I didn't like whipped cream. And so what I would order is a caramel apple cider, which is basically hot apple juice with caramel in it, and it's delicious. And I used to get it with no whip. And that's my favorite fall drink. I don't really go for the pumpkins, but again, that's because mostly they were coffee, and I wasn't into coffee-based things. I really like the tartness of, like, the apple cider. See, why am I thinking of hot fall drinks right now when it's 85 degrees? Jesus Christ, Vince. It's 85 degrees. I don't have air conditioning. I'm rubbing it. This Coke bottle has ice in it. I put it in the freezer to try and get, oh my God, Wendy! Congratulations! Woo! Oh God. Oh, I love getting cold from the inside out. Take that however you want. Okay, let's go, Paisley. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Okay. Do we have everybody here?
No, I just have Joel with his client.
All right, bring in Mr. Hilder and Mr. Helder, welcome back.
Yeah.
That beard is getting fuller and fuller. All righty. Richard, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, let's go on the record in the matter of Mugwaneza versus Bagizi, case number 24-02726DO. Richard, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
Yeah. Yes.
All righty, sir. You filed a complaint for divorce through your attorney's office, correct?
Yes, sir.
And all the allegations in that complaint were true and accurate when you filed it?
Yes, sir.
And they remain true and accurate to this day to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And you were a resident of Kent County in the state of Michigan for 6 months prior to filing that document?
Yes, sir.
And you were married to Deborah by a person authorized to perform marriages?
Yes, sir.
And there's been a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable?
Yes, sir.
And you presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage?
Yes, sir.
And to the best of your knowledge, Deborah is not currently pregnant?
No, sir.
All righty. Mr. Helder, any questions, sir?
No, thank you very much.
All righty. In that case, I do find buying through that testimony that this court has jurisdiction and the proofs are sufficient under the document. So we'll get this processed and get it to your office, Mr. Helder, so you may distribute it appropriately.
That's great. And thank Rebecca. She was going to scan and email that to me today. We had a pressing need for it. So thank you, Rebecca.
No problem.
Thank
you, Rebecca. No problem.
Okay.
All righty.
Next, we can do fly versus fly.
I'm glad he reminded you just in case. All
Yeah,
righty.
no,
I figured knowing you. Okay, fly versus fly.
Yes.
Will he make a fly joke?
Good morning.
Mr. Ty, how are you? It's been a while.
Yes, it has.
Way too long. How you been?
Oh, pretty good. How about you?
Hey, so far so confused, but that's the way I live. So this is an easy week. I only have like 40 hearings this week, so.
Oh, good. Well, at least none of them are pro-cons, so that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah. All right, Miss Fly, welcome. How are you this afternoon?
All right, how you doing?
Good. All right, let's go on the record in the matter of Fly versus Fly, case number 24-05944DO. Miss Fly, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
Yes.
All righty, ma'am. You filed a complaint for divorce through your attorney's office back in June of 2024, correct?
Yes.
And all the allegations in it were true and accurate when you filed it?
Yes.
And they remain true and accurate to this day to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
And you were a resident of Kent County in the state of Michigan for at least 6 months prior to filing that document?
Yes.
And you were married to Philip by a person authorized to perform marriages?
Repeat.
You were married to Philip by a person authorized to perform marriages? You were married to Philip, correct?
Yes.
And it was a legal marriage?
Yes.
Cool. Sorry, I have to have you married before I can divorce you.
Okay.
One of those one of those prerequisites. In any event, though, but there has been a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable.
Yes.
And you presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage.
Yes.
And you are not currently pregnant.
Oh, no.
Okay. Mr. Ty, any questions, sir?
You covered all of mine.
All righty. I covered all the ones that were legally necessary. All right. With that being stated and noted, I do find buying through that testimony that this court has jurisdiction because this is where you live and the proofs are sufficient to enter the document. So we'll get this processed, get it over to your office, Mr. Ty, and you may distribute it appropriately.
Thank you
Have
very
a
much.
Great afternoon, everybody. Take care.
You
Okay,
too.
You too.
All righty. Nice to meet you.
You
Mr.
too. Take
Ty
care.
for Mrs. Fly.
Okay,
divorcing
next.
Mr. Fly. Is his hair at this awkward growth stage? Is that what's happening? It's getting too long. We all know he is growing his hair specifically for his trip to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween this year. It seems like
Alrighty, bring them in.
bring them in, he says.
Skeletto, did you connect?
Yes.
Okay. All righty, let's go on the record in the matter of Galeto versus Pena, case number 24-03309DO. Lena, please raise your right hand, ma'am. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
Yes.
All righty. Do you need an interpreter, ma'am?
Yes.
Why wasn't one requested?
There's one that was attached to the hearing, to the pro-con.
I'm looking at the notice and it does not ask for an interpreter.
Okay, she is here at the Hispanic Center.
Yeah, I know. And I kind of gave some leeway last time this happened. But let's get her through this, but I'm going to stop giving leeway shortly.
Okay.
All right? Because we need to have an official interpreter assigned through the court. You need to find the correct notice that requests an interpreter.
Okay.
Because none of these documents that you filed requested an interpreter or even note that this is a case that requires a Spanish interpreter. So I will have the file marked that requires Spanish interpreter for any future issues.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make sure.
Please.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of bending the rules a little bit, but that's mostly for Ms. Galeto's benefit, not for the Hispanic Center. If you guys are going to be filing these documents, you need to file them appropriately.
Okay.
All right. Who do you have present that's available to translate?
Yes, I do. I have it right here.
Who is here ready to translate?
I can
identify yourself, please.
Oh, Estefania Garcia.
Ms. Garcia, please raise your right hand and don't smack her. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth? I mean, do you swear or affirm to translate from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
Yes.
Have you ever been through the training at all to qualify or certify?
No, I want to.
Please do, because then you may be the interpreter, but I need a qualified or certified. But so that I do not waste Ms. Galeto's time, I'm going to proceed on this. And you have well, you work at the Hispanic Center. I'm assuming you speak Spanish fluently.
Yes, I do.
Okay, and you were able to translate from English to Spanish contemporaneously, correct?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Galeto, you are under oath. You filed a complaint for divorce in this matter in March of 2024, correct?
¿Usted puso esa orden del matrimonio de divorcio en marzo del 2024? Yes.
And all the allegations in it were true and accurate when you filed it, to the best of your knowledge?
¿Y todo lo que usted puso en las formas está correcto y sigue siendo correcto hasta este momento? Sí. Yes.
And they remain true and accurate to the best of your knowledge to this day?
Y siguen siendo correctos hasta este día de hoy, ¿verdad? Sí. Just que usted sepa, yes.
And you were a resident of Kent County in the state of Michigan for at least 6 months prior to filing this document?
¿Usted vivió en el estado de Michigan por más de 6 meses antes de poner los papeles? Sí. Yes.
And you were married to Fernando by a person authorized to perform marriages?
¿Y usted se casó con Fernando con alguien que está legalmente certificado para casar? Sí. Yes.
And there's been a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable?
¿Ya he visto un roto en el matrimonio en cual no se pueden remediar las cosas o no se pueden reconciliar? No. No.
You want to divorce, correct?
Usted se quiere divorciar, ¿verdad? Yes. Yes.
Then the marriage is irreconcilable, correct?
So, el matrimonio es imposible de reponer. No lo quiero. I don't want it.
I kind of thought so, but just wanted to make sure.
Nomás quería asegurarme.
All righty. And you have presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage?
Y usted puso una orden de divorcio que usted cree que es justo y que cumple con todos los requisitos. Sí. Yes.
And you are not currently pregnant?
Y usted no está embarazada. No. No.
All righty. I do find by and through that testimony that this court has jurisdiction because this is where you live.
So, yo veo que esos documentos están en el correcto área de donde vive, entonces él ve que sí. Pertenecen los papeles.
And that the proofs are sufficient under the document.
Y que tiene usted suficientes pruebas en los documentos que ha sometido.
Okay. Ms. Garcia, for future reference, when you're filing these complaints, please fill them out completely. This is not a fatal error to this case, but number 4 is not filled out. Neither is the request for relief. It's all blank. The only thing, luckily, that's automatically in there is the court to enter a judgment of divorce. But the rest of that stuff needs to be checked as well, or unchecked appropriately. But it looks like nothing was done. Okay. So please, if you're going to be assisting these parties, I know you cannot give legal advice, but make sure everything is completely checked off. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Next.
Next, we can do Sazelle versus Sazelle.
Actually, he looks like he's got his hair cut recently at the back. Do you think him and his wife are divorcing? The tea.
Jessica, did you connect? Okay, if you could unmute, please.
There we go.
Alrighty. How do I pronounce your last name, ma'am?
I'm not sure. I didn't hear it. It cut out.
Oh, how
Did
do
you
I
try to pronounce it?
No, I didn't. I was going to ask you
Oh.
first before I butchered it completely.
That's fine. It's Zell.
It's Zell? Okay. Thank you. I wouldn't have butchered it too completely, but at least I'm going to try and get it right off the front. So, alrighty. Is Nathan with you?
No, he's not.
Okay, I asked because you're
haven't
in
heard
the you're in the passenger seat, so I was wondering. Sometimes people show up together. Okay, no problem.
No.
All right, we're here in the matter of Zell versus Zell, case number 24-02260DM. Jessica, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
I do.
Ma'am, you filed a complaint for divorce in this matter back in looks like March of 2024, correct?
Yes.
All righty.
That's my birthday month.
Were a resident of Kent County in the state of Michigan for at least 6 months prior to filing that document?
Yes.
And you were married to Nathan by a person authorized to perform marriages?
Yes.
And all the allegations in that document were true and accurate when you filed it?
Yes.
Just in case I didn't ask that question, because all of a sudden I lost my place and lost my train of thought.
Yep.
I do enough of these that sometimes I'm like, did I do that already? Okay.
I think maybe.
Yeah. In any event, since you were married, there's been a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable.
Yes.
And you have presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage?
Yes.
And you believe it's in the best interest of your children?
I do.
And there's currently a child support case, which is why we don't have a uniform child support order, because you're referring back to that case, correct?
Yes.
And you are not currently pregnant?
No.
All right, I do find by and through that testimony that this court has jurisdiction because this is where you live and the proofs are sufficient to enter the document. So we'll be getting this processed. There's a 21-day appeal period on this document. So we'll get it to you after the 3 weeks is run, and it'll be your responsibility to send Nathan his copies. All righty?
All right.
Any questions?
Thank you.
All righty. Take care. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
All righty.
I think he desires
next.
the
Hernandez
dirty
versus
details,
Hernandez. Just have plaintiff here.
but these are mostly agreements.
Probably should have brought that one in a while ago. Sorry. We are here in the matter of Hernandez versus Hernandez, case number 24-05606DO. Ms. Hernandez, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Where's the judgment of divorce? I've got none filed. I've got the motion filed, but I have no judgment attached.
I'm not sure what that is, but I have filled out everything that I was given to fill out.
Did you fill out something called a judgment of divorce?
I'm not sure.
Okay, because the court does not have a copy of one, and that's what I need to divorce you. It is the actual final order that does divorce you. The court does not fill those out. You have to, because I don't have any idea. Do you own a home? Do you have debts? Do you have credit cards? Do you have, but see, the court does not know that. The court cannot fill those out for you. So that's something you have to do.
No, that sounds, I mean, rational. It's just,
Yeah.
I've asked every single time, what else do I need? And I'm told, nope, you're all set.
Well, nobody,
and then I call back.
Nobody here can give you legal advice.
I'm not asking for legal advice. I
Yes,
just need
you
to
are.
know what to fill out. How do I find?
Yes, you are asking for legal advice. All right. You got this complaint for divorce online, correct?
I got it from YWCA.
Okay. They did not include a judgment with it? A blank judgment?
Again, I filled out everything that I was given. So if
Okay.
I'm missing something, I can try and figure out what that is.
You're definitely missing something. You need a judgment of divorce.
Okay.
Okay. The Legal Assistance Center on the 5th floor can help you with getting one and filling it out. They cannot give you legal advice, but they can make sure it's filled out appropriately. Okay.
Yes.
All righty. Because I'd love to divorce you. I just need that document to do so. I can't do it verbally.
Okay. Thanks.
So, well, don't thank me yet. We'll see in about 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to adjourn this. Then all you have to do is reschedule it with a copy of the judgment. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All righty. Good luck.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. Ugh. That one hurts. I hate having to do that. At least I try and explain it enough so that they understand why. All righty, next.
We can do Russ versus Russ.
Okay. This is another one that I cannot do.
Hello.
Hi, Miss Russ. How are you doing?
She's about to be worse because she ain't getting divorced. Also, thank you, Julie. Trick or trout? Trick. I don't know. I love it. It's fun to get divorced at the YWCA. This is sad because it's probably some sort of domestic violence arm of theirs, and so we're not being obstinate, but it is funny to listen to. What's going on here? Is she wearing a jaw, like one of those things? Also, you guys, I saw that Ray-Bans has like glasses that you can take videos on now. Paisley, want. Bad. It's been gone from almost everything. It was just a beta test. Oh, look at me. I fucking turned myself off. That's very unusual. I tend to turn myself on, mostly.
Great, how are you?
Well, so far so good, except for this one and a couple of others. Ma'am, well, let's go on the record officially in Russ versus Russ, case number 24-06760, DO. You filed this complaint for divorce on July 11th, correct?
Correct.
The court cannot take proofs to enter a judgment of divorce until 60 days is elapsed by statute. I'd love to preserve the proofs and hold it for a few days, but I cannot. The law precludes me from even taking the proofs necessary to enter it. Okay. So I need you to we're going to adjourn this, and I'm going to need you to reset it for after the 60 days, which will be after next week.
Okay, so
all right.
All I need to do is set up another meeting.
Set up another time after the 11th, probably the week after. Okay.
Okay. Do I need to go back in, or can I do that now? Or
no, you're going to have to go back in. It's got to be filed appropriately. So I will adjourn it for you so that all you have to do, we'll send you back copies of the judgment so that you have them. Okay, because I don't want them getting lost, because a lot of times once these hearings are done, the paperwork is either processed or disposed of. So instead of having that happen accidentally, I'll make sure that it gets sent back to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, sorry I couldn't help you today, but by law I cannot. Good luck. Have a
How
good
are these
afternoon.
being sent back to me? Are they being sent?
Yeah,
back
I'm gonna
through mail?
send you back. I'm gonna send you back the judgment of divorce by mail.
Okay.
Okay. That way you can appropriately have it set up. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck. I apologize. I wish I could help, but by law I can't.
No problem.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Stunned silence. Just stunned, like, but what? What's left, Judge? Hurry up. We got one
Sometimes
last
the cost
case.
of not having a lawyer. All righty.
Lewis Davis versus Davis.
Okie dokie. This one we should actually be able to do.
Hello.
Good afternoon. How are you, Miss
Hi.
Lewis Davis?
All right. How are you?
So far, so good. So in any event, let's go ahead and go on the record in the matter of Lewis Davis versus Davis, case number 24-06406, DO. Lillian, please raise your right hand.
Oops. Right hand.
There you go.
Yep.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in giving testimony?
Yes, sir.
All righty, ma'am. You filed a complaint for divorce in this matter back in July of 2024, correct?
Correct.
And all the allegations in it were true and accurate when you filed it on July 2nd?
Yes, correct.
And they remain true and accurate to this day to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, correct.
And you were a resident of Kent County in the state of Michigan for at least 6 months prior to filing that document?
Yes, sir.
And you were married to Gary by a person authorized to perform marriages?
Yes.
And there's been a breakdown of that marital relationship to the extent the objects of matrimony are broken and irreconcilable?
Yes.
And you presented to this court a judgment of divorce that you believe to be a fair and equitable division of your marital assets, debts, and all issues of your marriage?
Yes, sir.
And you are not currently pregnant?
No, no.
All righty. In that case, I do find binding through that testimony that this court has jurisdiction because this is where you live and the proofs are sufficient under the document. So there's a 3-week appeal period on this document. Once that 3 weeks has elapsed, we'll be getting you copies. It'll be your responsibility to send Gary his copies, okay?
Okay, that'd be fine.
All righty. You have a great day. Take care.
Thank you. You say you're going to take 3 weeks?
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.
Enjoy the rest of summer.
Okay, you too.
Did we ever come to a consensus about what was above Mary Pigorsh's head? I believe it says surgical. I think it's false advertising, whatever it is. Or cool, one or the other. Give me a moment here. I'll gather our next case. The title case, the title card case.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
There we go. I'm unmuted. Good afternoon.
Okay. Are you expecting anyone else to be joining us?
Just me
I don't
and
believe so.
52 of my
I am not.
very closest friends.
This is in the District Court of Ellis County, Kansas, case number 19 DM 239. This is the matter of Johnny Elder and Journey Elder. You've got them both ways. Let me look and see how the court has it. Yes, petitioner is Johnny Elder, respondent Journey Elder. We're on for a review of the motion to modify parenting time. Back on July 2nd, Mr. Elder filed a motion to modify parenting time on June 25th. Mrs. Elder filed a motion to enforce parenting time. We had a hearing on July 15th. And set the matter over to review today. Mr. Johnny Elder.
Yes.
Where are we at?
So in our last hearing, you told us to work together that we need to try to agree on things for us to talk to each other. And there were several things that you had me correct in the parenting plan that I submitted. So I corrected those things and also added a few other concerns that I have, sent it over to Journey for review and to discuss. And she absolutely refuses to work with me. She said at that time she would rather go ahead and set up mediation. I told her I still don't agree to that. I tried to do that for the past 2 years and she refused. She brought this back to court. I told her we're in court. We're gonna handle it here. So I sent it to her. I wanted to discuss it and talk over the concerns that her and I both might have so that we could iron those out in the parenting plan and sign it and agree on it. She refused to work with me, so we're back here today.
Okay. Do you have that amended proposed parenting plan?
Yes, I submitted it to the court, Your Honor.
When did you submit it to the court?
I would have to look back in my emails. It was attached to the email that, I forget her name, your assistant or the clerk responded to with our court date. It was attached to that.
Okay, since our hearing on July 15th, we have a one-page notice of hearing, a 3-page notice of hearing that was at first undelivered, and then an amended notice of hearing that got delivered. And that's it. I do not have your amended proposed parenting plan. The last one we have in the file is from July 2nd.
Okay. Yeah, it was submitted, and Journey was also CC'd in that email so that she has a copy of it. She acknowledged that she received a copy. So the court was in that same email, so I'm unsure, Your Honor.
Let me look back through the email.
This judge's voice is like molasses and sleeping pills mixed together.
To look and see if I'll try to look and see if I can find it as well.
Yeah, it's Kansas. Bless
Excuse me.
Bless you, Judge. Also, look at everything in his office is like at that height. I'm sure that's an interior designer or somebody that knows better than me. My brain's so different, but it's funny to me. I need some pop. I have a pop in the fridge. I don't want to skip ahead because I'll miss them talking. What the fuck, Judge?
Is there an email that I can forward this to? I found the attachment in my phone. Not sure if you can hear me.
Because I don't have it.
Okay. Is there an email that I can send it directly to you?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Should I also send my proposed parenting plan, Your Honor, or
Have you put one together?
I put one together, but it's not been shown to Mr. Elder yet?
Yes. Send it to both of us.
Okay, I shall do that.
If you'd raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear and or affirm that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the penalties for perjury in the state of Kansas.
I do.
Are you currently in the state of Kansas?
I am.
Thank you. And Journey, if you'd raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and or affirm that you will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the penalties for perjury in the state of Kansas.
I do.
Are you currently in the state of Kansas?
I am.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. And you're proposing every other week during the school year, residing with the parent?
Every other weekend, Your Honor, within the 150 miles. That's our current setup. It to where the summers aren't specified, the what's currently done. But I think the main changes for that part for both of us was clarifying the summer. Mr. Elder was, I believe, requesting the children for 10 weeks out of the summer, and I would have a 2-week vacation that he could veto. And I'm requesting more of a 4-week for me, 8-week for him if he moves out of the, immediate area. When we were in here last time, I believe you had mentioned we would flip-flop kind of in the summers where the children came home on the weekends with me and spent the weeks or, every other weekend with me. And then that 2-week vacation honored.
Mr. Elder?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm trying to decipher both of what you're proposing here. You're both proposing children reside with you in the summer, with Journey during the school year.
Correct. So what we discussed last time is that my summertime would start the Friday after the kids got out of school and would end the Sunday before they go back to school, to give them a couple of days there to kind of get reacclimated with mom. Other than that, she would have every other weekend and then a 2-week vacation. I put in there that that by May 1st, I think that both of us should agree on that vacation time. Otherwise, my parenting time in the summer supersedes. So, if I already have plans for the summer, she doesn't get to trump that. You know, that's my
But
parenting.
Mr. Elder, you can't plan all 12 weeks and then say any 2-week period she asked for is trumped by your time. If she has a 2-week summer vacation with the children, you have to allocate her 2 weeks.
Right. So I guess that's my concern is, you know, if we both have plans or something that we want to do that summer, and it just so happens to conflict with each other, then what happens?
Right. That's where you need to work with each other and plan this ahead of time so that you have that 2-week vacation set up early.
And that,
set it up by March 1st.
Yeah, that's my concern is anytime there is conflict, there is no resolving it with her. It needs to be black and white, and that's why we're back here for a black and white parenting plan.
Okay. So it sounds like you're in agreement other than you're having problems with the 2-week summer visit.
Yeah, I just want something specified so that there is no gray area on that, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, if you give notice of the 2 weeks of summer vacation by March 1st, is that sufficient time, Mr. Elder?
If I give her,
if she gives you notice, if you give each other notice of anything special you're planning to do in the summer, like, you know, just for illustration, you both decide to take the children to Disney World. And you end up overlapping with one another, but you don't want to go together. Okay, someone's going to have to change their plans. And if you make your plans by March 1st, you've got time to change those plans.
okay. Yeah, I even put May 1st. I'd be okay with that, you know. So are you suggesting that kind of whoever notifies the other person first of their plans
No, I'm suggesting you both tell each other if you have a specific event, and in this case, what it is, that event is Journey's 2-week vacation in the summer with the children. She needs to give you notice by March 1st. Now, if you have something planned that same time, one of you has to modify your plans.
May I interject, Your Honor? In the newest form that was available online, I believe it's the 2023 version, they built in that contingency. That's the form that I use. So there is a section about vacation. And so it gives, I can't remember which parent, they have like the first right of vacation time by this date on even years, and then
Right, and that's what I was explaining, is that if you have a disagreement, then you've got, and we'll have to figure out who's parent A, because you're both claiming yourselves as parent A and the other is parent B, and that's a problem. But you know, then you set it up where on even numbered years, parent A gets first choice, odd numbered years, parent B gets first choice of the 2-week summer vacation. But you want to give that notice by March 1st so that the other side can then make reasonable plans.
correct.
Okay, any disagreement with that?
No, I agree with that, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, in yours, Journey, you're building in a contingency if Mr. Elder moves more than 150 miles away?
Correct, Your Honor. Mr. Elder is active guard reserves, and so they are in 3-year slots. And so my understanding is that his time for moving will be coming probably pretty soon, because he's been in this slot for, I believe, 2 years. And they give you notice of like, if it's still the same it was when I was in, then it's that 6 months that they can move you to a new duty station.
Okay, so you're proposing that if he's moved more than 150 miles away, then he doesn't get his summers?
No, Your Honor. No, we would follow the same summer plan, but they wouldn't go during the school year on weekends.
You'd have to go to just the major holiday schedule.
Correct. And then, of course, the summer schedule. The kids wouldn't come home to me on weekends if he lived outside of that 150-mile radius.
And we're both in agreement on that, Your Honor.
Okay, so how are you going to how do you plan to designate that then in your holiday schedule?
So on the second to last page, I believe in the other schedule, it does make the allowances. So if it's over that 150, but it's like more than a 4-hour, he could be sent, overseas in like like Japan or Germany. So if there's a 3-day weekend that's accounted for in that holiday schedule, then the kids wouldn't be able to like fly to Germany for a 3-day weekend to make it back to school. So, that holiday schedule we would uphold as much as possible, as long as he was within a reasonable travel time.
And I don't know, Mr. Elder, where you're looking at being stationed or deployed. Okay, but 150-mile radius is a little short. For example, if he's in Topeka, or if he's in Kansas City, he's just outside 150 miles. But 150 miles is only a 2-hour drive.
Right. So
there's no reason to cut off if it's within a reasonable driving time.
Do you mean because his custody is being impacted by his work that is not avoidable and it's for the country? So ostensibly we should be helping people that are doing work for the country? Is that, I think Judge is taking this one real slow. He's really walking through it. He's right. 150 miles isn't that far, but she's also just shooting into the dark about Japan or Germany. Well, last time he was in fucking Kansas. So that sounds like a bit of a pipe dream to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you were like dreaming of Germany or Japan and then you got stationed in Kansas, I mean, why are we thinking that he's gonna go just because he could? I could go to the Olympics. Doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
And I'm okay with expanding that. We had just had agreed on the 150 together. So I'm okay with expanding that. To my knowledge, the only 2 duty stations in the Kansas area are Hayes and Wichita, with his MOS, his position in the military. He's already been in Hayes. He's in Wichita now. And so I think the next closest duty station from when his last time had come up before he moved to Wichita was in Missouri, like Fort Lindenwood.
And how far a drive is that from?
That I'm not sure. He should receive a list of different locations that have open slots, and then he'll rank those. But that's about as much say that he gets over a duty station. That he can rank them, but that's about it. The Army will put you where they want you.
I visited Turkey, Istanbul. It was actually very lovely. Don't look at me like that, Judge. I loved Turkey, even though I was groped. Is Judge thinking or reading?
Mr. Elmer,
Yes.
I think the 150 is a little short. That's only a 2-hour drive.
Okay.
I think you need to start looking at modification once you hit that 4-hour plus drive.
Okay.
So maybe if you expand that to a 300-mile radius, 3 hours, or 4 hours is about 300 miles interstate, 75 miles an hour.
And this is for weekends?
That is on the, you get to a point where you have to take advantage of long weekends, and you two can work this out, and you should be able to work this out. But if you're within a reasonable drive time, you can't do every other, it's too far for every other weekend, but if you have a 3-day weekend, it might be doable. So you can look at the schedule and utilize a couple of those. Then you've got the school most likely has a fall break. The school has a Christmas break. The school has a spring break. You can utilize time during that.
Yeah, and that's what we have outlined is the holiday schedules, such as what you just said, fall break, spring break, Christmas break. We have those things outlined that I would still get that parenting time. But if you're suggesting, that we up that to maybe 400 miles, I don't know, 400 miles can equate to, I don't know, a 6-hour drive, but you split that down the middle. That's 3 hours there and 3 hours back,
It's still a 6-hour drive for the kids.
Right. And
right.
you're doing it on a Friday that we can't leave till 5 p.m.
That's too far.
And yeah, that's why we were both kind of in agreement. 150, that's almost double what we're doing right now, and the kids are doing an hour and a half. So if we doubled that to 300, the kids are doing a 3-hour car ride, or if we up it even further, then we're looking at 4 hours. So we felt like 150, that would give them about a 3-hour car ride. That was fair.
Well, yeah, 150 is about a 2-hour car ride.
Okay.
So if you go to 3, you're talking, 225.
Judge drives fast, is what Judge is telling.
Yeah, and I don't want to cut myself short. You see this stuff more than we do.
That 2-hour cutoff is awful short.
Okay.
The 3-hour drive is reasonable. You get beyond that, it gets unwieldy, and the kids are just spending too much time in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So I would suggest you increase that to 225 or 300, depending on the age of the kids.
Yeah, I think 300 would be fair, and then after that, it could just be kind of mine and her discretion if there was a weekend that didn't work for some reason. But I'm happy to get all the time I can, so we can double that.
And then you build in the provision if you get to where you can't do the every other weekend, then the trade-off for that is the fall break, a little longer at Christmas break, and the spring break, and build your time in that way. And of course, then you still have the summer.
So if I don't get my weekends, if it's beyond that, I would get it wouldn't flip flop. Like I would get every spring break, every fall break, every winter break.
Every fall break, every spring break, the summer. Over Christmas, you still split time, and you still decide how you're going to split your time. So usually somebody takes from right after school lets out. You see when their school lets out, when their school comes back in, what's the halfway mark? And that's usually going to be at some point between Christmas and New Year's, where you'd flip them.
And that's what we've done with
Then
success.
you do a longer time because you're not getting those every other weekends because of the length of travel.
Right. Yeah, I think that's what we currently have built in to flip flop, the first and second weeks of spring break, and I think we normally trade off on Christmas Eve.
Fall break and spring break are 1 week. So usually if you're having to do the long distance, you just plan on having the spring break and the fall break.
Okay.
Because they're a week at a time. You still split the Christmas break because that's usually anywhere from 10 to 14 days, depending on your school district.
So fall break and spring break would go to me every year, and then flip flop on Christmas 1 week and 1 week.
You would split down the middle. And
The school system that we're in, they don't have a designated fall break, but they are trying something new this year, to where it's going to be a full week for Thanksgiving. But we don't know yet if they're going to keep that because they had to lengthen the school days to make that happen.
Yeah.
And they decided that literally a week before school started. So there might not be a designated fall break moving forward. There hasn't been until this year when they started doing a full week for Thanksgiving.
Right.
So we're hoping that they'll keep that. But we didn't even know that was going to be a thing. And they, again, had to lengthen the school day by 15 minutes to do that.
And they call it different things, but at the end of the day, you've got a full week off. Usually it's around Thanksgiving.
This year, yeah. Previous years, they did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the kids went Monday and Tuesday still. And there was not a full week anywhere else. They just did a couple more 3-day weekends. They're in USD 305 here in Salina.
Okay.
So we're a little different. Everyone else around us has that fall break. So we're hoping they keep it.
Right. The idea is to give them as much time as is appropriate with dad and still respect their school year, still respect what's going on. Now, this gets harder as the kids get into junior high and high school and they get into activities.
Yes.
And you have to start making some tough choices. But at the end of the day, parenting time trumps school activities, with the caveat and with the caution to you that if you keep your children from having the extracurricular activities, then you've got upset children. And your visitation time is not very happy when you've got upset kids if they're missing out on something very important at school.
Especially
so
with how
as your kids right now at 8 and 10, they don't have a whole lot of extracurriculars, but as they get into junior high and high school, you're going to run into that. Depending on what extracurriculars they choose to get involved in, whichever extracurriculars you choose to have them go into. So there has to be a lot of flexibility in this. And at the end of the day, you want to make sure you give the kids as much time with dad as you can, and still respect, you don't want them in a car, 5 hours one way and then 5 hours back, and they spend 10 hours in the car over a 2-day weekend. That's brutal.
Yeah.
And that's brutal on everybody. So you don't want to do that. But if it's a, 3 hour or less, you can still do the every other weekend. But that's about the cutoff. And as they get a little older, you can do a little more. And then you look at, well, you could do some 3-day weekends or 3 days plus. And it just depends on how far away Mr. Elder ends up stationed. And you'll have to be reasonable with one another in setting this up with some basic guidelines. Okay. It sounds like you're pretty much in agreement as far as school year summer, other than you need to be giving that notice by March 1st. Journey needs to give John notice by March 1st what 2 weeks in the summer you want. And that way, if you both have something special planned during that period, you can discuss it and figure it out. If you can't figure it out, then parent A in odd years trump, parent B in even years trump for the special occasion for the summer. But you still have to, it's not a deal where, well, if she and I schedule the same time, I get to trump that, so she gets no summer break. No, then she gets 2 other weeks. She just doesn't get the first 2 weeks she chose because you have something. She still gets 2 weeks somewhere. You still have to figure that out and plan it. So that's what I'm saying. You can't just plan, okay, I'm scheduling the kids for all 12 weeks of the summer. Well, you can't do that because she's going to get her 2 weeks. So it's just a matter of prioritizing what 2-week break that is. Okay. Now, because of the way you filed the court documents, it's Johnny Elder and Journey Elder. So Johnny is always going to be parent A when you put your documents together. And Journey, you're going to be parent B, so we don't have confusion. Okay, because he's the petitioner and you're the respondent.
Okay, perfect.
He's A, you're B, and write it accordingly.
Okay.
Okay. What other areas are there concern?
As far as parenting time,
yeah.
I think that about covers parenting time. There's a couple other things that I put in here, and I was glancing through hers. I haven't had time to fully review it, but it looks like she might have added some stuff as well. But there's other concerns, such as the concern that we covered last time, the overnight camps. So I wrote that in here until the age of 12. But then there's also a few other things that I wanted to talk about that I need the court's help with. I've talked to Journey about getting our daughter health care for her eating habits. There's food therapy that she really needs. I've talked to her doctor. They recommend it. Journey says that, if I want to put her in that, then I can do that. Well, I don't have the time to do that. That's the residential parent's job. So I need someone to order that she does what's being recommended that my kids really need as far as medical care. So I
I'm
drew
going to
that.
object on this, Your Honor, because I did put our daughter into food therapy 2 summers ago. Mr. Elder was invited to every one of those appointments, and he chose not to come, and he chose not to follow the recommendations that were put into place. So we've done food therapy, but as the speech language pathologist stated at that time, it does her no good if one parent follows the recommendations and the other parent counters that. And so everything that was sent home with her from those appointments were sent to his house when she went on visitations, and he had not followed them. When we completed the food therapy, our daughter has a diagnosis of ADHD and a diagnosis of autism and sensory processing disorder. And so the SLP, the speech language pathologist, made a recommendation for those evaluations to be completed based off of her findings during those services. We started the therapy. She went for one time, and we did some assessments during that. And those were what popped out in the assessments were those diagnoses. I have attempted to put our children into therapy multiple times. They had a therapist there in Hayes, and then we moved to Salina during COVID. I attempted to find another therapist. We went one time before she closed her practice when both of her parents unfortunately died of COVID. And so this was the third attempt to do counseling for the kids. I've attempted to set them up with counseling at school as well, so they have processing time. But because neither kids are acting out in school, they won't do it. Mr. Elder changed their insurance to TRICARE Prime. So we have to get a referral from the primary care manager in order to do any sort of appointments outside of seeing her. That also limits our.
You're getting into an area now where you're getting into some diagnosis and things of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand we need to talk about that, but we don't need to be broadcasting that. Okay. So Sandy, are you with us?
I think she might have dropped off.
And we were just getting interesting. Anyways, you guys, what a fun night, sort of. If watching people divorce is fun, it is for me. Yeah. Anywho, I hope you have a wonderful evening. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm just planning. I'm gonna go buy sour candies tomorrow. I'm very excited about it. I'm making a whole little trip of it just to buy sour candies so that I can binge on them for approximately 4 days. And then I will regret that for a little while, and then come full circle in approximately another month and a half and get candy again. So, looking forward to that tomorrow. My tongue may be bleeding by the time we talk because I love sour keys. I'm a glutton for punishment. I love them so much. So much. I hope that each of you have a wonderful evening. I did. Even though that wasn't what we were planning on watching, it is what we ended up watching, and I am glad we watched it together. Please like the video. It's so helpful. YouTube Daddy's like, oh my god, people like you. And I'm like, oh my god, I know they do. Remember that I love you, I am proud of you, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow. Bye, bitches.
Always down and ready to ride.